Hey there guys, so in this video, I'm going to be doing a review of my Riccar Vibrance R20S. So yeah, it's been a long time since I've done vacuum reviews, and since I've been getting into vacuums a lot lately, you know, honestly a bit more than fire alarms and all that stuff. But but yeah, I figured I would go ahead and start to do more vacuum reviews since I've been getting into vacuums and all that stuff. But yeah, so yeah, um, so this is the Riccar Vibrance R20S, and I got this at my local vacuum store in in early 2018, and it was the first bagged vacuum in my collection. And all the other vacuums I've had were all bagless, but because honestly, I did like bagless a lot better than bagged because I always like watching the dirt. Yeah, I still like both bagged and bagless, but I guess maybe bagless a little bit more, in my opinion, is you know a little better because you can always because I always like watching the dirt fly around in a cyclonic motion when you vacuum a room that hasn't been vacuumed in a while. So it's yeah. Now you know the the downside about bagless vacuums is that it does get very messy when you're emptying it. So like if you have like really bad allergies or asthma, I would recommend that you go with a bagged vacuum because they're a lot less messier to empty and stuff. And yeah, and like for example, and especially the type of bags that I prefer that are more high quality. So like to change the bag on your car vibrates, you just open this, you just lift up this latch, and this comes off, and this is the bag right here, and when it comes to filter bags, this is my personal preference. The cloth HEPA bags, because not only do they have better filtration than the paper bags, but they're more stronger and they're more durable, so they won't rip or tear easily as the paper bags would. Because yeah, they're more stronger and they're more durable. So I honestly do like them better than the paper bags. Now the paper bags are better than nothing because there are some bagged vacuums that are, usually the commercial bagged vacuums, there are some bagged vacuums that have the shake out bag, which you shake the dirt out and all that stuff. And I honestly do not like them because they are just, I've never used one before, but from what I've seen on YouTube, is that they are just extremely messy and they're just very, 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 very messy. Like, honestly, way messier than emptying a bagless container. So, yeah. So yeah, that's the only type of bag vacuums that I absolutely do not like at all, is the shakeout bags. So yeah, and not only that, but these shakeout bags are bottom filled, which means that every time you suck, when you vacuum up dirt and debris, it gets pushed into the bag, and it has to use more energy to push more dirt and debris into the bag to make room and all that stuff. But with the disposable ones, they're usually top fill, which means they fill from the top, and they can last a while. Especially when the top filled, they can like be all compacted down and stuff, and last quite a long time. So it depends on how often you use it. And if you may have noticed the numbers, I did wrote the date on it, which is what I usually do because I always like to write the date on how long it's been in there for. Which for this example, this was installed the day before my birthday, 5/21/25. So yeah, which is May 21st, 2025, which is the day before my birthday. So yeah. So and to empty it and to remove the bag, and you just pop this out, and when you pull this out, um when you pull this out, this will automatically close. So yeah, and of course I also wrote the date on it as well. So yeah, and it will automatically close. That way you don't get that poof of dust all over your face when you go to the trash. So that's the advantage of a bagged vacuum. Of course, there are some that don't have this, that just have the cardboard um, collar on it, and you can just like put tape over it and stuff like that, so you don't disturb the dust and debris that's packed in there. But yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's not full yet, so I'm gonna put it back on. So, I mean, it's kind of a little heavy because it's like, some cat litter in it and stuff. I guess I spilled some cat litter when I was putting fresh litter in my cat's litter box, so I had to use the vacuum to vacuum it up. And yeah, and also, the another advantage about bag vacuums is that you don't have to like do all the maintenance to clean it and all that stuff. Like, it gets a little dusty on the inside, but you can just take like a cloth and just wipe it down and stuff. Whereas for bagless, you have to like, wash it and stuff. I mean, I'm willing to do that. I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much because I'm willing to do that, so I don't have a problem with doing that. But yeah, and also it has some. It also has a HEPA filter right in the exhaust, which it didn't actually come with it, but I did purchase it online on Amazon. It didn't come with it for some reason, but oh well. But I was able to purchase it online on Amazon. It's starting to get a little dark here, but not too much. But according to what I'm feeling right now, it looks like it's more of a paper-like material. So yeah, so when it gets dirty, it's you should throw it away and get a new one. But right now, it's not too bad. But yeah. So yeah, and of course there's also filters, the pre-motor filters right there as well. So yeah, I'm gonna close the back. So yeah, I'm gonna close this back on. So yeah, it's definitely my favorite color, blue. So that's why I wanted to get it, because it's blue. Which yeah, I'm saving up to get another bagged upright that's also blue as well. But I'm not gonna reveal it yet until I buy it. But yeah, but hopefully it will come soon. But yeah. So here's the back of it, and it only comes with 3 onboard attachments. The crevice tool, the extension wand, and the upholstery brush, which it's really not much, but yeah. But however, what I do use instead of this brush for dusting, what I do use is this. This right here, it didn't come with it, it's from Kirby, but it does actually fit on it, both from the extension wand and the hose nozzle itself. So it does actually fit because it's like a rubber, kind of like a rubberish feeling, where you can like kind of push it on there and it'll fit, which it does actually fit. And honestly, I think duster brushes should have this type of bristle material, which is a horsehair, because it's more softer, so it won't scratch the surfaces like you're dusting, compared to this one where it's like all stiff and all that. I mean I would use this for like upholstery, for removing pet hair off of certain furniture, but when it comes to dusting, I honestly think that these will kind of scratch the surface that you're dusting because of how stiff these bristles are. But for this one right here, it's all softer. Instead of, it's made of like a horsehair material, so these are much more softer, and so they will do a better job of dusting, so they won't scratch the surfaces that you're dusting. They're more softer, which yeah. So if you have a Riccar Vibrance upright vacuum, I recommend that you get a Kirby duster brush, because it does actually fit on it, believe it or not. So yeah. So I'm gonna put this back on. Oh, and of course, you can take this off to use it for regular upholstery. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So yeah, and of course with the extension wand, it's telescopic, which means you can adjust if you want it longer. You just press this switch down and it comes out like that for how you reach places. So yeah, and let's take a look at the bottom. So in the bottom, it has a metal brush roll instead of plastic, which that's pretty nice. I mean, my other vacuums, like my Shark and my Hoover, which I will do a video on those, do have plastic roller brushes, which that can be a little bit of a disadvantage, but I've never really had any issues with it so far. But yeah, this is a metal roller brush that's stiff, and it only has like the suction port opening on one side, which I think it should be more centered. That way it gives it even distributed amount of airflow, which By the way, I will be doing a video of a direct air versus a bypass vacuum comparison in an upcoming video sometime. But yeah, so so this is the metal brush roll, and to access the brush roll, there's these two little clips. You just kind of pop them inward. Oops. Oh no, that's. There we go. It's kind of stuck in there, but yeah. And then this comes out like that. So yeah, probably should clean this sometime. But yeah, well, I'm not too worried about it. But yeah, so here's the brush roll that you can take off, and this right there's the belt. So take off the brush roll, you just pop this out, and this will come out like that. So yeah, so here's the brush roll. Spins freely. So yeah, I definitely do need to clean that out sometime, but I'm not gonna really focus on it. Of course, I'm getting myself dirty from the. But yeah. But yeah, so, and then you just pop in the brush hole back in like this. That's what gets kind of a pain in the butt, but yeah. There we go. So. So yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this back in. Yeah, sometimes it can be a pain, but come on, get in there. There we go. So yeah, I do need to clean that out sometime, but yeah, and it does not have a switch to turn off the brush roll if you're vacuuming hardwood floors, so this is pretty much just for vacuuming carpet only. However, I do have an additional attachment that I purchased off of Amazon, which is this. I purchased off of Amazon, which I will be putting a link in the description below if you guys are interested. But this is like if you have a vacuum that doesn't have a switch to turn off the brush roll for hard floors, you can like use this for your here, I'm gonna zoom in back a bit. So yeah, you can like use this to you can like use this to vacuum your hard surface floors. You just kind of have to like, you know, kind of push it in like that, and it will stay in. You can like use it to like, you know, vacuum your hardwood floors and stuff. Even though you have to like, you know, kind of, you know, roll this along with you, you can like vacuum hardwood floors with this. It's because there's no switch to turn off the brush roll. So that's the only down thing, but that's okay. I got other vacuums that do a very good job of vacuuming hardwood floors. But yeah. So yeah, and also like, you know, it comes with the with some connector tubes with the hard floor attachment, so that way, you know, it can fit into a certain vacuum hose or extension wand if it doesn't fit on it from the hard floor attachment itself. It has a few of these, which I have more of them, so yeah, you can use these to like you know, if it doesn't fit, it has these connector things to like help it fit. So yeah, but yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a little demonstration here. So yeah, so I'm gonna put a little bit of debris on the floor, like a little bit of this laundry scent beads, which yeah, you can use these get these laundry scent beads if your vacuum starts to smell bad, like if it hasn't been cleaned or has the bag changed in a while. You can use that to make it smell nice. But yeah, I'm also going to be using this as well. So yeah. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a little demonstration. So here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna plug it in first, and actually I'm gonna get some earplugs real quick. But yeah, I got me some earplugs with me, which is what these are. Especially when I'm using the vacuums I have that are pretty loud. You know, I have these earplugs with me, that way they're not too noisy and stuff, and yeah, so they're pretty handy, especially when I'm testing my fire alarms. You know, I can definitely wear them, have those earplugs to protect my ears so I don't have to deal with a loud noise, so yeah. So anyways, I'll give you guys a little demonstration, so here we go. Listen to that crunch. That satisfying, doesn't it? Yeah, I did a pretty good job picking it up. Of course, I had to go over a few times to make sure I picked up everything, which is how you should vacuum, is that you vacuum the same spot a couple times just to make sure you pick up everything. So yeah, so I'm gonna set the camera in a hallway because I'm gonna demonstrate it in hard floor mode. So yeah, let me move these slippers out of the way because yeah, I was wearing these slippers because I was carpet cleaning the room across from my room, which I will post a video of that soon. I just need to do some editing, but yeah. So yeah. First I'm gonna spill a little bit of debris on the floor here. And of course a little bit of this as well, so yeah. Making a mess here. Don't worry, it's gonna get cleaned up. And also, I've got to, I don't know, let me make sure you guys can see this. Yeah. Well, actually, I'll show it to you after I demonstrate this. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate this in hard floor mode now. So yeah, I'm gonna zoom the camera up a little bit. So yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna demonstrate in hard floor mode. So I put the hard floor attachment on the extension wand. You know, just kind of press it in there and it should go in pretty good. And I extended it out. My bad. There we go. But yeah. So yeah. Now it's in hardwood floors, I can use this to vacuum the hard surface floor because there's no brush roll to turn it, there's no switch to turn the brush roll off, so it's belt driven. So yeah, so here we go. does swivel. Yeah. Yeah, it does swivel. So yeah, and you can also use this for dusting too, since it's also horsehair for dusting, you know, high ceilings or, you know, vents and all that stuff. But yeah, I do like this attachment. So I highly recommend it to get for your vacuum. I'll put the link in the description below on Amazon if you guys are interested in getting it. But yeah, so yeah, let me put this away and set the tripod back in my room. Yeah. So yeah, that was my review and demonstration of the Riccar Vibrance R20S. I still think, you know, I think it's an awesome vacuum, especially since it's blue, my favorite color. So yeah, I mean, it was the first bagged upright vacuum in my collection. And so, I mean, of course, I still like bagless vacuums a lot. I mean, now, if you're gonna get a bagless vacuum, I recommend that you get a high quality one, like maybe Shark or a higher end Hoover or Dyson. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Dyson because, you know, Dysons are very expensive. They cost like up to $700, and I honestly think that's just way too much, especially since it's like made out of plastic. You know, it should be like maybe $200 or less. But yeah, I will be doing some more vacuum reviews and demonstrations in the upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, so anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or concerns, and, you know, I'll do my best to answer them. You know, sometimes I may not know, so, but yeah. But anyways, I hope you guys liked the video, so thank you guys for watching, and yeah, thank you guys for watching, and have a great day or evening.